Dubai Hotel Campus Language Center. My name is Teacher Q. In this video lesson, I'm going to discuss about present continuous passive and present perfect passive. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's compare first the differences between active voice and passive voice before we proceed into the main topic. Why? Because this is very important for today's lesson. So when we say active voice means that a sentence has a subject that acts upon its verb. Let's say, for example, Gary is renovating the house. So this is an example of active voice because the subject is the doer of the action. And we have here the verb, or we say linking verb plus the verb ing, which is renovating the house. While when we say passive voice, it means that a sentence or has a subject, or the subject is the receiver of the verb's action. For example, the house is being renovated by Gary. So let's compare the active and passive. So here, this is the object. So when we make it into a passive sentence, so we have here the house. So the object here becomes the subject. Plus is being renovated. So this is present continuous active sentence. So if it is into passive voice, it will become is being renovated. So we already discussed about active voice and passive voice, and now why we should learn passive voice. So there are three reasons. First, when you don't know who did the action. Second, when you don't want to say who or what did the action. And the third one is the subject or the object is the most important part of the sentence. Okay, now let's have the present continuous passive. So we use present continuous passive for actions that is happening right now or in progress at the moment. When we want to focus attention on the person or a thing being affected by the action, or when the subject is unknown, unclear, or irrelevant. So we have here the structure for affirmative form. We have here the subject plus the be verbs plus being plus the verb 3, or we call it past participle. So we have here the example. The chair is being painted. So as you can see that the chair here is the subject or the be verb, which is plus being plus the past participle, which is painted. And the next example is the computer is being cleaned by Chloe. So this one is, as you can see that we have here the person. So in the active voice, you can use either with the person or without. If it's specific, you can use the specific name of the person. But when you say like, you can also use another form of the person. Like for example, the chair is being painted, you can use by someone if you are not sure who is it. Okay? And for the negative form, all you have to do is put not in between the be verb and being. So we have here the chair. If we want to make it into negative form, so we have to add not. So the chair is not being painted by someone. And after the negative form, so we have here the structure for the question. So we have here the be verbs plus the subject plus being plus the third form of the verb or verb 3 or past participles. So for example, we have here are the shoes being arranged, and the second is your car being fixed. We have here are, because this is question, so the be verb should comes first. So are the shoes. So we use are here because the subject is plural. Another example is your car being fixed? So as you can see here, we use the be verb is because we have here the subject car. Car is only one, which is singular. So now let's move on to present perfect passive. So we use present perfect passive for all the same reasons we use in the active form to talk about present actions, experiences, ongoing situations, or unfinished actions. So in the passive form, I mean the object is the most important part of the sentence. So we have here the structure for present perfect passive. So we have the subject plus has or have been. It depends on the subject. If it's singular, you use has. If it's plural, you use have. Plus been plus the past participle. So we have here the example. The rules have been violated by people. So we have here the subject, which is the rules. So this is a plural subject. So we have the verb have plus been, because we have here has been, and violated because this is past participle. Another example is the wallpaper has been arranged by her. So we have here the subject, the wallpaper, has, because wallpaper is only one. So we have to use the singular verb, and has been arranged by her. And when you make it into a negative form, so we have just to use not in between have and been. So we have here the rules have not been violated by people. And we have also here the question structure. So we have has or have plus the subject plus been plus the past participle. For example, has this jacket been washed? Another, have these books been arranged alphabetically? So here, this is only one jacket, so we have to use has. And these books, so there are many books, so we have to use have. So that's all for today's video. I hope you learned something, and see you next time.